What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex. You're watching the Ragin Ronin review. I got a review for you. Last Tuesday, I watched the Expendables 3. That would be the third installment in the Expendables franchise. This really fun, action-packed franchise conceptualized by Sylvester Stallone in an attempt to bring back the classic 80s macho action films. And we're here with the third installment, this time around directed by Patrick Hughes. The first one was directed by Sylvester Stallone, which I thoroughly enjoyed. The second one's directed by Simon West, which I thought was superbly superior. It was just a lot of fun. Okay, it was more fun than the first one, but it was definitely a film that had me laughing and cheering and just having a really fun time at the theaters. All right, now the third one, okay, looks like they're here to do something different, and it starts off with the PG-13 rating. The first two were rated R, and that's what Sylvester Stallone wanted. The third one is rated PG-13. That's the first thing I want to mention about this film in my review because it affects the entire movie. At first, when they announced the PG-13 rating, I was completely against it. Now, I understand why they wanted to do that. Maybe they saw the domestic box office numbers see a bit of a downward slope from the first one to the second one, and maybe they were expecting the same kind of thing with the third one, so therefore they wanted to broaden the audience, broaden the demographic by bringing in not only a new bunch of younger cast members for the Expendables team, but also, you know, make it more appealing for the wider audiences. So not just the adults who are into the 80s action films, but also fans of all ages for action films. All right, so that's the main reason why they wanted to do this, and possibly they wanted to set up the fourth one with a whole new cast of younger members, with maybe some of the original members coming back, but not all of them. All right, so that was the whole intention. Now, I was saying prior to the film that this is going to hurt the franchise. This is going to hurt the franchise on a level of storytelling. Okay, it might increase the box office, which it actually didn't. Maybe people are tired of this franchise, but it hurt the franchise mainly because they took away from what makes this franchise great. And it took away the essence of what the Expendables is. And that is this macho, testosterone-filled muscle fest that you could really only get from these key players that you have so much fun watching because they're there having a good time. You bring in actors or brand new actors. I mean, you know, these new additions to the team. I think it's Alex Ortiz, John Powell, Kellen Lutz, and Ronda Rousey. Okay, you bring them onto the team. I get why they do that, but the chemistry is just not there. And to top things off, you have four new members, actually 5 new members, including Antonio Banderas' character, and each one of them in the movie gets their own bit of background scenes, like their own little bits of exposition. Keyword being exposition, because these scenes of exposition are long, drawn-out scenes of exposition. You really learn everything, almost everything about these characters. Mostly, some more than others, but still, a lot of the movie is made up of Sylvester Stallone getting to know these new characters, these new additions to the team, and it really messed up the pacing of the movie. I gotta tell you, a lot of this movie was actually exposition. A lot of this movie was actually boring compared to the first two. In the first two, I was never bored. It was never a dull moment. It was always about men on a mission. That's what this genre is, men on a mission. It's all about getting from point A to point B, and then they encounter obstacles. In Expendables 3, it's not about getting from point A to point B. They went from point A to point B, and then they encountered like a thing. Then they have to get to point C, but before getting point C, they had to encounter another thing. And then eventually there's point D, okay? But by that time, you just feel like, oh man, when is this movie gonna end? There's just way too much talking. There's way too much of these character moments which really don't really add anything to the movie, because the people that we want to see in the movie interacting is not the old guys with the new guys, it's the old guys with the old guys. That's what made the last one, Expendables 2, so much fun. You saw Schwarzenegger, Willis, Chuck Norris, Statham, Sylvester Stallone, all those guys all having a good time. And it was all because of the things that they did the best, and that was kick butt together. Okay? They were having so much fun. You knew that when they're on screen, they're having fun. Okay? When you see these actors having fun, you're watching Willis, you're watching Schwarzenegger, you're watching Stallone, you're watching Norris. You're not watching the characters that they play. You're watching the actors that we've seen from the 80s have fun. Okay? In Expendables 3, couldn't get into it. Had a hard time getting into it. I love the beginning action sequence because it was all the original Expendables with Wesley Snipes. And then we had another action sequence with the original Expendables team with Wesley Snipes. And then after that, where did the action go? It was just recruiting guys, new guys I didn't care or know or care about. You know, they came to another sequence where, okay, get this, okay? I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen the movie and seen it in the trailers, but they recruit the new guys only to have them get captured just so that they can bring back the old guys to rescue them. I mean, isn't that kind of like, doesn't it kind of defeat the whole purpose of this kind of a business decision to bring the Expendables films into another direction? It already proves that the old guys are the best guys, not these new young guys. Come on, man. Anyways, you know what? The pacing was off. The action started getting more and more dull. You know, sure, there were some great moments. There were some good moments in the final climactic battle because we got to see Ronda Rousey do her thing. We got to see Wesley Snipes play with his knives. Jason Statham also got to do his thing. But there weren't great character moments like the second one. The second one was like a really great movie. The second one was a really great movie. I watched it with my parents, and my dad said, man, that was pure entertainment. That was like so much fun. Like, he actually said that. And he had a good time. That's when I knew that the whole movie is just about showing the audience a good time. And I don't think the audience had a good time with Expendables 3 because, man, like, you're just probably going to be thinking, who are these new guys? Bring back the old guys, man. I want to see the old guys come back and kick butt. But there you have it. I gotta say that I only enjoyed it for the first two action sequences, which were all in the first 20 minutes of the movie. Afterwards, it got really, really dull. They got some serious pacing issues, too much exposition, couldn't connect with the new actors, new characters, and the action just didn't get that much more exciting, even though they brought these new guys in. So there you have it. That's all I gotta say in this movie. I can't give this movie a high score. I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 10. They could have done a lot better had they kept the R rating. Made it, you know, with the R rating, they could have made it more action-packed by adding in more sequences of violence. but they had to water it down. They had to tone it down, and then because of that, there was less action. And the action was just a lot more tame, and there were less moments that made you go, ooh! You know, so that's it. 4.5 out of 10. Pretty disappointing end to this trilogy. There's probably going to be a fourth one. Maybe, maybe not. But if they do, I sure hope they stick to their guns and go with what they did with Expendables 2. But anyways, that's all I got to say in this video. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, at Ragin Nation. My Instagram is at The Ragin Nation. I'll see you next time. Peace. Alright, and it also shows that people just want to see it. People want to see a sequel because you can tell by the box office numbers. Anyways, the big question is who